Okay, you guys, good morning. Welcome. Happy May. Thank you. First, I want to thank you for making today's call a priority. I was out yesterday, I want to say running, but I was speed walking. Okay. Like I know we tell ourselves we can do anything, but my knees have been hurting me when I'm running. So I was out speed walking, imagining that I was running, and I was listening to the soundtrack that I just love. And I know that a few of you have asked me recently, we're going to do a VP call. We're going to do a VP call. And it just hit me. Sometimes I just like to schedule something when it really hits my heart. So thank you for making this morning a priority. I want to start. First of all, I believe you guys know who I am, but we're growing, and I'm Debbie Neal. And I'm so grateful for our entire organization. And I want to start this call by really loving on you for this year. It was 1 year ago this month that I did a call with my national vice president team, and a lot has happened in 2021, to say the absolute least. I think it was a year that a lot of us didn't see coming on any level. I know when I started out 2020, and I actually prayed to God for the next level of me, and I prayed to God for the next level of leaders in my life. Now, sometimes when we pray, we think we have this vision of what we're asking for, and then things happened. And I realized when I was able to really see, because we could find the silver lining in anything, right? Just like Dominique just spoke about her paintings, we can find the gift in every adversity. God was answering my prayers. He was teaching me how to grow to the next level in my life, but I had to prove worthiness. And we prove worthiness through storms and through valleys. And our love and our commitment is constantly tested, not only in Arbonne, but in everything in life. So I want to thank you from the depths of my soul for navigating this year with so much love, so much positivity, regardless of the fact that it wasn't your ideal vision. So I understand that, and I thank you. I also really want to thank you for, as we grow in this business, we always say don't compare, okay? But as you grow an organization, you're a little bit partial, and you believe that your organization is best, right? I don't even like to say our organization is best. So that's my belief. And one of the things that I really admire and value and appreciate is the level of positivity that this entire organization has. In fact, I'm a big believer, it doesn't really matter your letters. Your letters can say VP, but that doesn't always mean that people show up in the world as vice presidents, right? Because to me, leadership is about positivity. It's about being the light. It's about all of those things. And so we even have an MVP page on Facebook in Arbonne. And even if people are national vice presidents, sometimes they get a little bit scared. Sometimes they post stupid stuff, to say the least. And every time I see something, I'm so grateful. It's never one of the leaders in our organization. And I can't even thank you and let you know how much that means, not only to me, but really for all of Arbonne. Because when we're positive for all of Arbonne. So I just want to start off by really talking about my vision. My vision is I believe, and I believe many of you believe the same thing, we're about to explode. And so when you grow through things, the gifts in this business, if you're not seasoned in this business, if you promoted to vice president level in 2020, you kind of get thrown right into the tornado. But we're coming into a huge upward trend in Arbonne. But I can tell you that in my 15 years in Arbonne, the greatest gifts are the valleys in this business. And so you might not see it when you're in the valley and when you're experiencing the valley, but with every obstacle and valley and that point where you're digging in and trying to rediscover and figure it all out, and you come out better, you come out more committed, you come out more unstoppable. And so with every one of those periods, we do expand in our own space and our own leadership. So it's May, And if you don't know my story, I love every single thing about May. Here's one of the things that I love so much. It's childlike belief. I want all of us to never, ever forget that there are national vice presidents that have no idea what Arbonne is, waiting for our vision to expand and become, the bigger our vision becomes, it's like a net that can reach out across borders, across zip codes, across whatever, to find the leaders that we are meant to attract in Arbonne. And so this month, 15 years ago, I started my Arbonne business. But I'll use May 2nd as a reference. You guys, I was going about my life. How many times do we look at our organization right now? We're like, okay, who's in our hopper, right? Who have we talked to? Who have we sent out samples to? Who have we maybe mentioned Arbonne to a few times? Who are we going to reach out to? Like, who's in the hopper? You guys, who's in your vision? What's your vision? What are you looking for in a national vice president? Because I was just somebody la-di-da going about my day, okay? I was a stay-at-home mom. I have 4 amazing children. I loved being home with them, but I missed the fire. I missed the ambition. I missed me. And I was looking for something. And I had no idea what that something was, but I'm a very big believer. Whatever's meant for you will find you. And I was at that backyard barbecue, and many of you guys know that story, but maybe you don't know this part. Somebody mentioned Arbonne to me. Sometimes we say, get in front of 40 faces, right? Get in front of 40 faces, but it's more than that. It's get into 40 hearts. That's what I want to say. Don't get in front of 40 faces. Get into 40 hearts. So what do I mean by that? She started to talk about Arbonne. I didn't know her. She was my friend's neighbor. And at first I was like, oh, this is a nice woman. She seems, nice energy, somebody you could talk to. I don't know anybody but my cousins. This is their party. And after a few minutes, I'm like, I think she's hitting on me. Like hitting on me, meaning I think she wants me to do this business. And I remember standing there having the energy that if she could get out of my personal space, that would be awesome. I'm above this. You guys, I was praying for something more in my life. I was babysitting 7 kids in addition to my 4 babies. Where did I come off giving off that energy? But when we don't know something, we kind of protect, right? So it was so easy to say, oh, I got in front of a face. I met this woman at a backyard barbecue and I asked her to take a look at the business and she said, no, I got in front of a face. Are we looking for faces or are we looking for hearts? Because what happened is she then had the courage to lean in. She had the courage to cast a vision that was actually like, the more she spoke, I was kind of like engulfed in this. I didn't join Arbonne because of the information. I joined Arbonne because she casted a vision of what was possible. She told me what average was. She did. She said, most people do this, but I was like, I'm not average. So she didn't mention Arbonne to me. She spoke into me. She leaned in. It wasn't the information I joined. It was the vision. Okay. May 2nd wasn't on my radar and her vision found me. Okay. So what we don't look for, we miss. So be really clear on what you're looking for this month, because she could have easily missed me. I could have easily went to the backyard barbecue and I could have easily left. We don't find our national vice presidents just going through the motions. And then I said yes to this business, you guys. I said yes to this business that very same weekend. But this is what I've learned in my 15 years in Arbonne. Saying yes was the easy part. And I think many of you understand exactly what I'm saying. Success is saying yes every single day. And I'm calling on your hearts right now. You guys are our warrior team. We're the ones that are going to lift our organization and our company into stratospheres that we knew. I don't even want to say that we only dreamt about, because we knew this, okay? But saying success, saying yes, is saying yes to success every single day. We own Arbonne. Now, we don't really own Arbonne. Group Rocher owns Arbonne, but I love to envision every day that I own Arbonne, that there's not double A's outside of Irvine. There's a DN and there's your initials. And so what do I mean by that? It's not an ego thing, because if we truly owned Arbonne, how would we show up? How would we speak about it? Would we ever allow negativity or anything that happens or somebody leaving or an obstacle, would we allow that in our hearts if we were responsible for the entire company's bottom line? When we create that mindset, the game changes. And I want us all to realize, and I know a lot of the veterans, right? We know this. Vice president in Arbonne is the starting point of our journey. So I would love every single one of us. Oh, it's 11:11 right now. It's a very lucky number. I would love every single one of us to lock arms and, like, in our minds, we just promoted to vice president level. Because I want to give you an analogy, okay? When we grow to vice president level, okay, so many times we think it's, or we can look back and say, well, what are we doing wrong? Or what more can we do? When we became vice presidents, when we grew into this business, it was like we lifted up a Mack truck on our shoulders. To grow to vice president, it's not so much about skill, right? How many times we think, well, when I become a better leader, I'll grow to national vice president, right? Or when we become a better this, we all have all of that inside of us now. How did we grow to RVP and MVP? I can't speak for all of you, but I'll speak for myself. It was this energy. It was a childlike belief. I had no idea how I was going to grow to the top of Arbonne, but I had this passion in my heart. I had this vision in my soul, and it was big conversations, and it was big dreams, and it was big energy, and it was big activity. And what happens is our energy becomes contagious, and that energy locks on to the hearts and the souls of other people. And all of a sudden, this rocket ship that we're committed to grow to vice president gains fire and momentum by all of these people saying, I'm in. Like, people go to the heat. They go to the source. They're attracted to the energy. And so they lock arms on our rocket ship, and we begin to lead our teams to vice president. And then this rocket ship gets lifted off the ground because the energy is high, the conversations are big, the goals are big. When our teams called us with something, it's like, listen to me. And you had more inside of you because you were obsessed about your goal, right? It wasn't the skills. We learned the skills on the way up. We grew and we led our teams to vice president level on will. We were willing to do whatever it took. There was no other option. It was in our heart, it was in our soul, and the beast came out of us. We set a goal, and when we set that goal, the best of us came out. We believed, right? And that's where the huge combos and the vision, we did more than we ever even knew what was inside of us. And here's what I want you to know. That's your power. That is your power. And no one can take that away from you. And it didn't go anywhere. Sometimes it goes dormant. Sometimes it sits because we think it's going to be that next person coming in, but it's not. That next person's coming in as a result of us bringing up that rocket ship. So I know we're doing this in book club. It's a book I've read many, many times. I know a lot of you have read it. It's that book, The Miracle Equation by Hal Elrod. It's like, it's everything. Like, I think this is my 4th or 5th time reading the book. And every time I read the book, it's like, well, duh. Like, duh. Like, it's extraordinary effort over time and a faith that is completely unwavering. Okay. And so I want to share something with you guys, especially the regional vice presidents. Okay. And maybe you promoted this year, and maybe you've seen me share this before because we do multi-nation, we do our global trainings together. But I think it's really powerful. And I want to share this with you guys. So this is my first of all, look at me. This is my RVP EOA. That's my face. I actually don't even recognize myself. Okay, although I'm not looking so good right now. I'm going to show you the people that are in my EOA. Okay, so on the front page, that's my family. Okay, those are my parents. Those are my children. That's Scott. That's the front page of my EOA. This gets better. Well, let's look at the back page. These are my first area managers. Let me see if you guys can see it. Tell me if you can. These are my first area managers I promoted. Okay. So in that picture is Heather Benedicto, who is no longer with Arbonne. She was the first car that I put on the road. I hate to say she actually forgot to renew her ID, but as a result of Heather, Kristen Whitley is a direct national vice president with a beautiful organization. Another person in that picture is Estelle K. Estelle K has amazing potential. However, that leg is attached to direct national executive national vice president Jill Caputo. And the other area manager in that picture is Grace Romano. She was the person that I called for 32 days straight in Canada. She is a consultant and she is connected. So many of you are here because of her. But those three people today are not building this business with me. The picture beneath it, this was a picture at my car celebration, and under it, it said, my region. There is not one person in that picture with an Arbonne ID today. Not one person. This picture, okay, is a picture. No, not that one. This one. Oh, this is the best. It says my Canadian team. Okay. Other than Grace, I don't know one name. If you said to me, I'll give you $1 million to tell me the names of the people standing beside you. Now, obviously, I worked with them enough. They had pretty significance in my life to put them in my EOA. Not one of them, besides Grace Romano, has an ID today. This picture, this is 3 generations of my upline. 3 generations of my upline. Not one of them have an ID today. Not one. And so this is why I share this with you guys. The only ones standing in that picture, the only ones standing beside me today are my family. So I am asking you from the depths of my soul, don't you let anyone that comes in and out of your business get to your heart. Don't you let anybody in your upline, I spent 2 years bitter when my upline decided not to work Arbonne. Like they owed me something. You brought me in and you left me. It wasn't like they birthed me and left me on a park bench. They enrolled a grown woman in her 30s. They shared Arbonne with me, and then they decided to do something else in life. And instead of feeling pure gratitude, I was mad because they left me. I mean, can you even imagine? So I wanted to share that with you guys. And here's the thing. Here's a powerful lesson that I share, and I don't share this with you to impress you, but to impress upon you. The only reason I didn't experience a dip from here to nation, because we all experience different dips in our business. I've had them, okay? But I didn't experience a dip from region to nation because region was a starting point for me. I promoted to region and immediately went on an enrolling binge. I was enrolling nonstop because I was obsessed about growing to the next level. So because I was doing this so much, I wasn't really seeing this so much. And what happens a lot of times when we grow to, and I'm just sharing this with you to share some vision, not vision, wisdom, because sometimes we think, what's wrong with us? What's going on with our team, right? What did we do wrong? And you didn't do anything wrong. Our goal is to just become and be better. And so what happens a lot of times, I've seen amazing people promote to regional vice president and national vice president, and with good intentions say, I want to help my team. What more can I do? I want to bring them all to this level. But they all are where they are because of our fire. And the reason they're going to stay there is because of our fire. And it's all of the next people. So what happened is I wasn't different. I just understood network marketing. In fact, when I first started Arbonne, I wanted to read everything. I read why people quit, why there's only this percent. And some people can read that and be like, ooh, they focus on that. I felt like I got the cheat sheet. Like I felt like somebody handed me all the answers to the biggest exam of my life. So what happened is I just understood network marketing. And so some people could say, well, one of the downsides of network marketing is that people quit. You guys, there's only one way to have an amazing, abundant life. And you're going to have some things that aren't ideal. But if you look at it through eyes of the silver lining, here's the gift. Not everyone is going to persevere. Not everyone is going to do what they say they're going to do. And so it teaches us to grow and expand and become better and increase our skills every single time. So I wanted to share that with you to remind you of your power. You have everything to lead your team to national vice president and beyond this year. Now, you're all vice presidents. I can tell you to go to earnings.arbonne.com to see averages, okay? But here's the thing, you're not average. You're not typical. You are ready and you are worthy. You are the secret sauce. Your energy, your commitment, your vision, your hunger, your grit. And this is when you want to separate yourself. Here's another story I want to share with you guys. And I remember when I promoted to national vice president, it was not in a growth spurt of Arbonne. It was actually in this. Like Arbonne was doing this. There was no social media. I had no idea Arbonne was doing that. I was going about my life, zipping, building and rolling, casting the vision. And I remember when I went to Maui for the first time. And so some of these, you might be an RVP and be like, oh, I thought Maui was like the candy land of Arbonne. Everything was going to be great. Everybody's so happy. Everybody's so positive. We're all on a mission. And it was a year that was not a good year in Arbonne. And you guys, I'm going to share this with you because regardless of what's going on in a year, regardless of going on in your personal business, here's a lesson I learned, because everything is a lesson. You're a visionary no matter what. We're the light. We shine the light. And I remember the first 3 conversations I had, people were like, oh, you did this, or, oh, I'm a nation, and oh, I didn't maintain this month, or like things like that. And after the first conversation, I was like, la, 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 la. And then I'm like, let me go find another friend. And then I met somebody else. And then somebody said, I was like, la, 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 la. And then I hate to say this, but I was like, oh my gosh, I'm on an island full of jackasses. Now I only had 3 conversations. Okay. And maybe they didn't realize that they were being not nice, because it wasn't not nice. You don't do that to a national vice president. Anytime something comes out of your mouth that's not positive to anybody in your sideline or your downline, I'm saying this with love, nobody gave anybody that right. That is such poor. And then people say, but we're friends. No, that's you wanting them to lower to your level. That's not friendship. Friendship lift people up. That's not a friend that I'm looking for, okay? And so after 3 conversations, and to the average person, you guys, they weren't bad conversations. They weren't. Like they were trying to save me. But after those 3 conversations, I walked away and I sat on a lounge chair by myself for 7 days. And do you know why? Because I was like, I sat there and I journaled that my vision has the potential to be worth billions of dollars. Now I'm not connecting that with Arbonne income. Okay. My vision was priceless to me. And every conversation I was going to have that was going to diminish my vision, right? I was the only national vice president in my organization that year. If I let anybody into that vision, I would be compromising the future of every single one of you. Every single one of you, if I let somebody have that much power. So I want to remind you the power and the pricelessness of your vision and to protect it. And you'll really see like the power of a decade. Like Leah and Maria just celebrated their decade in Arbonne. Like when you're, and I know for all of you that have been here over a decade, oh my gosh, the wisdom we grow and the commitment, and we just commit more than ever. And here's the thing, people follow commitment. If we want people to take our business seriously, and that goes with family members too, it's up to us to take our business serious, right? So I just want to paint like a little bit of a picture of what this really takes. And somebody might be like, Deb, we know what it takes. We've been building alongside you for 10 years, 15 years. I get it. But I love to see this. I love to be reminded of this because success is not for a season. Effort isn't for a season. And I really want to be honest. Like I look back and I know this might get old, right? Some of the things we did in Dark 100 when we, had a new website, or when some of us were still faxing in orders, or we drove, Canada was born because I drove 11 hours for a presentation, like 11 hours. And so I don't mean like, oh my gosh, you're amazing. But you know what? As we do those things, we grow sticking power. And I think today, when I see some people come in and out of Arbonne, they're like looking for such convenience. Like they'll do Arbonne when it's convenient for them, but then all of a sudden they're committed. They're going to the top, and 3 of their friends like, you know, we're going to go to the beach for the weekend. You guys, we said no to those things. We did. And there's not a national vice president on this line that didn't say no to those things for a period of time or when their business was important. Doing all of those things taught us sticking powers. The more we grow through, the more committed we become. And here's the thing, so many people looking for convenience to success, we've got one up on them because we know success is not convenient. We have a gift, and we should all be reminded every single day what a gift we have. I have watched amazing people, okay, step back in their Arbonne business and get a job. Get a job, okay? I'm not knocking it. People could do whatever they want. But you know how sometimes when you're in it long enough to know that they're doing it because they just don't want to push through the hard, or they're settling, or they think, oh my gosh, I'm going to get a guaranteed income and I won't feel uncomfortable. You guys, here's the thing in Arbonne, we know that there's no guarantees, but you're the guarantee. You're the guarantee in this business. And for me, I know that my time was not for sale and it wasn't up for negotiation. When we do Arbonne consistently, we will never do it constantly. People are going to quit. People are going to promote. But here's the thing, rock stars are coming into your business, into my business, and we want to prepare for it right now. We want to work that compensation plan. We want to build that wick. We want to light the fire under our tush and in our hearts, because the speed of the team is the speed of the leader. Okay. And I'm not talking about speed to success. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm talking about going for those milestones when it feels painful. Okay. I'm talking about setting a goal every single month as if you were in qual, even if it's a small goal, and then work towards that goal with the same mentality of I'm finishing region, I'm finishing nation, I'm doing, like, bring yourself back to that qualification period, set goals, and then whatever it is, whatever milestones it is, and then increase it, and then increase it, and then increase it, and then be on a mission to earn it earlier the next month. Build that discipline, train in the darkness, because the reality is when we don't have a goal, our team doesn't have a direction. And this is the time to dig those heels in and dig deep. And so I just want to talk for a moment about AIT. Okay. I wanted to, first of all, what a gift from Arbonne, what they did this month. Okay. What an absolute gift. And here's what I love about AIT, you guys. It's the compensation plan. It's teaching us through a method of reinforcing, right, with a trip, with a reward, the compensation plan. And I'm going to tell you this, this is the first year in my entire Arbonne career that I physically, out of my control, I cannot attend that trip this year. But here's what I'm going to tell you, because you're my accountability. I am earning that at the top level. And you know why I'm earning it? Because I looked you in the face and said I would. Because I looked my team in the face and I said I would. Because I looked my family in the face and I said that I would. Because I'm committed to leading at least 25 national vice presidents to the top of Arbonne, because my team is watching, and because it's also really easy to justify not earning it this year. It really is. But I'm not looking for easy, and you're not looking for easy. I didn't join Arbonne to go to the Bahamas, although those trips are amazing and I love them. I joined for impact. I joined to level up my life. I joined to raise my bar, to be uncomfortable. We have double AIT points. We have the power to district manager promotion this month. And let's be obsessed about enrolling and promoting new this month. Like everybody else that's in our central district right now that's going to promote is gravy, right? Because we're in this for more than the Bahamas. We're in, and I know Canada. I don't know what your circumstances are going to look like in October. I don't know. I already know what mine, but like, it's more than the trip, you guys. It's growing your business to the next level. Success is about staying the course. It isn't convenient. It's staying in. It's being the light. It's being the constant. Gosh, average people are looking for hype and they quit when it gets hard. We're not average, right? There's social media versus social selling. Social media is a blessing and a curse. Please stop comparing yourself, because there's people out there that spend hours to get the perfect picture, and Lord knows what their QV is. Okay, I'm not judging. I'm just saying this is the time to not be distracted, not compare, put on your blinders, dig your heels in. You know what average people do when they experience any sort of a dip in business? They get scared, they question, they stop, they regroup, they collect evidence, they talk to others. That's not us. We trust the process, we dig our heels in, and quite frankly, we do more. That's the best solution. We do more. We double down on our reach outs. We double down on our work. You guys, we're in this. We're playing the long game. And we are now entering in an upward trend in Arbonne. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to create a vision for this year and for the next 5 years that inspire you. You are your team's Peter Mork. You are. You, one day people can say, because Christina had a vision, Miriam had a vision, Michelle had a vision. Because of their vision, you are building a legacy. And I want you to realize the power you have over the lives of others. That's why I'm so passionate about my anniversary. My gosh, I said yes, May 30th, 15 years ago for me, not for you. I said yes for my family. I got to be honest. What it could financially do for my family. But then I look back and I think, what if I would have exhaled at RVP? What if MVP would have been enough? What if EMVP would have been enough? What if $1 million Successline would have been enough? What about all the other people that weren't in my life yet? What about all the other people that weren't in my net yet? When we sit back, we hold others back. We hold others back that have absolutely no idea what Arbonne is yet. As we expand, our organization expands. And with that expansion, it's not just who you are going to introduce to Arbonne, it's who they are going to introduce to Arbonne, right? Which is initially from your vision and your net and its impact. So create a vision that guides you through the valleys, because the valleys are the gold mine. Every valley we grow through develops us into more of a lifer. Every time I come out of one, I'm like, boom, another lifer stamp. You tried to test me, boom, I'm a lifer. And so every time we come out bigger, and we come out better, and we come out stronger. Like, picture yourself as like, David, that statue of David, right? And every single chisel that's made, you're becoming the best version of you. It's May 2nd. It's 2021. We have a brand new CEO. It's GTC month. We have grown victoriously through a challenging year. We did amazing despite our circumstances. Leaders adjust their sails. You did it, and we learned so much. And now it's time to elevate. It is time to create record-breaking growth, and it starts with us. And let's start here by looking at incentives as a plus, not a solution. Best advice I could give you. It's amazing people are like, business is this, we need a fizz, we need this. We don't need a fizz. We need the sizzle inside of our hearts to go out and enroll people, because sales are great. They're a good override. Enrolling is your future, right? Most of you did not grow to vice president with any incentive. We didn't do it with any incentive, pure enrolling. In fact, I went back and I looked when our organization completed Nation back in 2006, our sponsors, we called them sponsors then, were over 800. It was massive momentum, and it starts with us. I'm up for it. I'm up for it. If John is here, I'm here for it. And I'm asking you guys to rise up higher than ever. So here's one of the things I want to leave you with, okay? Most of you know this story, and I love it, so I'd like to share it with you. Now, if you know it, humor me, right? Because here's the thing, plus no matter how many times I hear it and I read it, It reminds me of my vision. It reminds me of Arbonne. I could like connect everything back to Arbonne and the importance of remaining faithful to it. And this is a passage titled, Some Just Can't See It. And it's from Journey to Success to Significance. And it's by John Maxwell. And it's very fitting seeing that he is our keynote for GTC. Okay, so here it goes. Sometimes even an accomplished leader with a compelling vision has trouble getting everyone to buy into his dreams. This was true in the early 1950s when a friend of television producer Art Linkletter tried to convince him to buy some land. His buddy, a movie executive who had been a close family friend for years, drove him out into the country to look at some property. After driving more than 25 miles, they turned off the main road and drove through fields and groves of trees. There wasn't a person for miles. They saw grazing horses and an occasional abandoned shed. Art's friend began expanding his bold venture, an amusement park, unlike anything the world had ever seen. It would be its own little world, and it would contain areas with names like Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. Art's friend said it would be called Disneyland. Art Linkletter thought his friend Walt Disney was crazy. Who in the world is going to drive 25 miles to ride a roller coaster? He thought to himself. Linkletter later wrote, I had such admiration for his business acumen and his show business savvy that I hardly knew how to tell him that I thought he was making the biggest, most ruinous mistake of his entire life. After painting a verbal picture of his vision, Disney said to Linkletter, Art, financially, I can handle only Disneyland itself. It would take everything I have as it is. But the land bordering it, where we're standing now, will be jammed with hotels and motels and restaurants and convention halls to accommodate the people who will spend their entire vacations here at my park in just a couple of years. I've bought all the land I can afford, and I want you an opportunity to get some of the surrounding acreage because it will increase in value several hundred times in the next 5 years. Walt Disney had no agenda. His friend, Walt Disney had no agenda. His friend, other than to add value to him, he wanted to share an opportunity, but Linkletter just couldn't see it. He made excuses and said he would look into it later. Later will be too late, replied Disney. You better move on it now. Disney was right, of course, and Linkletter never forgot his walk back to the car because he later figured it probably cost him millions of dollars a step. And so you guys, every single time I hear that, I'm reminded of a couple of things. Number one, you're going to share this vision with people that not everybody's going to see it. You're going to have people on your team that don't want to push through the hard. I've lost leaders. I can remember, and I'll use Grace as an example, casting the vision of what Canada is going to be. She just couldn't see it. Deb, this is a government town. Deb, people don't want to do it here. Deb, okay? You guys, there will be, I've lost leaders at every single level in this business. I know beyond the shadow of a doubt, we're going to be the #1 network marketing company in the world. And I know there will be thousands of national vice presidents in our organization. And I know this business is so powerful. We know why it's 2% and 1%, because people don't have the guts and the courage and the stamina and the love to push through the hard. But you guys do. And you guys did. And we came out of this year, and you guys were entering in a zone of limitlessness. We're entering into a zone that anything is possible. Okay. And so I want to thank you from the depths of my soul for your leadership. And I am asking you from the depths of my soul, as successful as each of you are, to lean in right now and act like you just became an independent consultant with Arbonne. Because there is not one person in your entire organization that has the power and the belief and the ability that you do. Nobody. You've got more inside of you than you ever thought possible. And I know where we're going. And I want to tell you this, there is nobody I'd rather be on this ride with than with every single one of you beside me. So thank you. Happy May. Thank you for being such an incredible part of the last 15 years or however long you've been in Arbonne. I love you and I'm grateful for you all. Thank you so much.